Hello everybody and welcome to some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels. In this one it is a series of 8 mini tournament that we have to sort of a pre-season to test out some of the GX decks that will be going up against each other. And it is, what time is it now? 12:36 AM at the time of recording. So I do have to be somewhat quiet as there are others asleep in the residence. So maybe a little bit of ASMR style Yu-Gi-Oh! Tonight, as well as Ritual Sanctuary has been drawn by Alexis. Looks like a wedding cake. Okay. Cyber Petite Angel, that's a pretty good card as well. So yes, uploads were a little bit later tonight. I was out most of the day, and by the time I got home I cooked some steak. I ate the steak. I also had a mishap with some eggs. They ended up in the frying pan, just in not the way it usually goes. One of the eggs just broke horribly and I ended up with a sort of like a splattered egg. It's like I would have been better just throwing the whole egg onto the pan and splitting it instead of breaking it. I don't know, it was just a horrid day with eggs. But in terms of that, when I got home, had dinner, and I had the option of what do I do now? Do I record Yu-Gi-Oh! Or do I watch Raw first? And as a lot of you in my comments and watching along are WWE fans, as you would understand, I simply couldn't just not watch Raw straight away because of everything that happened at Elimination Chamber. I had to put Raw on and watch it the whole show for about 2.5 hours because all the ads have been like sort of removed from the live broadcast as they do on Netflix. So yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Will come a little bit later tonight, but it was always the experiment that I wanted to do in changing the upload time a bit, but okay. Now Alexis has got a 2700 fusion to the field, and that one can pull its ritual card back to hand, and Alexis is in good shape here. Oh, Chaos Necromancer, that's not a bad card as well. So yes, a new Chazz deck has been made by us here. It was a sort of used a combination of just searching up Chazz's anime duels along with some of the deck creations that he has here, just to get a bit of a mind for all of his cards that he used. It's a bit tricky with Chazz because he used a few variations of decks, because didn't one of the decks end up in an ocean or something, or did he throw Bastion's deck in the ocean, or I don't know, but Chazz does end up with an Ojama deck at some stage, but he does have Ojama yellow, green and black in his deck, and a couple of Ojama cards, but it's not an Ojama deck. It's more focused on XYZs, Armed Dragons are in there, and some of the how do you say the word? It's CH Shitopia. I need to see the actual word again. Yugioh. So I know I'm trying to get the Chthonian. That's is that how you say it? Chthonian? I'm gonna say Chthonian. That's how it reads to me. But there's a few good cards in that. Chthonian Soldier. There's a dragon in there. There's a few trap cards as well. So it's kind of a thing that Chazz did use a couple of times as well. So I'll put those cards in. So he's sort of got a sort of like a little bit of a combination of all of his decks in some way. Why Dragon Head? I mean, the actual goal is for all the decks to be quite powerful. like in their sort of like their best GX form, but still all of the decks being competitive enough that they are all going to accumulate wins, and it's not going to be a predictable, you know, win-loss record for any of the players. As Chazz has brought down that might be one of those Chthonian, I think that might be the Chthonian Dragon. GX series, I have seen it once before. I'm familiar with quite a few of the cards, but not all of them. So I'm not going to be completely familiar with every deck straight off the bat, but as the series goes on, I will start to see other cards in action, as well as that is one brutal effect. And you just throw a card from your hand and destroy a face-up attack position monster. Chazz is out of life points on turn 7. It's a great first victory for Alexis. Alright, back. Alright, I'm going to comments before this game ends. See. Get a few here. Again, what an episode of Monday Night Raw we just had as well. I think this is roughly where I was up to. Okay, was there a bit of an abrupt cut? I was just looking at the comments, but I do believe in this one, okay, yeah, so there was a bit of an abrupt cut in the middle. I think that was left in the notes. What we've actually found out, we trialed this, or Daniel and Cameron trialed this. What they did is they took one of the Switch off the docks and they swapped them around, and it doesn't actually stop the Elgato recording. Actually, no, it stops the Elgato recording, but it doesn't cut the video, if that makes sense. When signal is lost from the Switch going to the Elgato, it just pauses the recording, but as soon as it gets signal back, it starts it up again. So there doesn't have to be any awkward editing and sort of cuts and pastes in the editing process, which takes time and can sometimes go wrong as well, which is actually very, very handy. It's an unintended handiness. So we will see Chazz's perspective, but it's sort of flipped around in the lobby, which makes no difference to the content being shown anyway. Kodos Kopos says, "Look at you not starting a video by saying alrighty." What's happened to you? Is it global warming? Did I not say that yesterday? In one of the starts, I must not have. It's probably a crutch word, being it's a radio term as well for people who have a certain word when they're in a certain situation when they're trying to think, and it's a word that they always say. It's probably what it is. Dragon level 3 comes to the field, and Shard of Greed. Shard of Greed has been put in decks to replace Pot of Greed, since Pot of Greed is banned. Sorry. And that trap card just laid down. I know that one. If a fusion monster is summoned, you can take control of it, which is very, very good against Jaden. Okay, Michael Page 2507 says, "Since Jade came back, I think it was both of them that attacked her," as in being Naomi and Bianca. Well, Bianca had a bit of a cameo on Raw as well. She sat by ringside to watch Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, and I'm sure most people have seen Raw by now, but if you have not seen Raw and you do not want any spoilers, which is almost impossible to avoid right now, mute the TV or watch Raw first and come back to the video, like I did. I watched Raw first, then I recorded my commentary to this. So yes, we do have a new women's champion, and it is an absolutely shocking occurrence. I did not think that Io was going to win the title. WWE never do that. They never just randomly switch titles in hands, especially before Mania, but this is what WWE needs. It needs shock factor. It needs to be unpredictable, and this is why I stopped watching it through the 2010s, because it became so predictable. Like, remember when Batista and Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumbles in, like, was it 2014 and 15? We all knew those wins were coming. Okay. Alejandro Fernandez says, I was so worried, for lack of a better word, why there was no early days content showing up on the channel, but that explains it. I am still waiting for my early days copy. I did not get a message to receive that it had come in today, so I am hoping I get it tomorrow. I get the urge to want to actually have a physical copy of the game, but apart from major releases, mainline Pokemon games, Zelda, Smash Bros, Mario Kart, I've gone fully digital. Been playing the heck out of early days collection, have beaten DDS and Sacred Cards and Dungeon Dice Monsters, now struggling with Reshef of Destruction. Well, it really does make me want to go digital as well, the fact that I still do not have this game, which I pre-ordered for release date on the 28th of February, or it was 27th if you're in the US, it was the 28th over here. And Alejandro Fernandez also says, if you want to make Alexis deck a little more consistent, try adding preparation of rights, Manju of the 10,000 hands, fists because the monsters are either a warrior or fairy, renewal of the world. Okay, so kind of like Sonic Bird as well, some of those ritual grabbers. She does have a few ways in her deck to pull that ritual card as well, although she's a... Oh, there's Blade Skater. I'm somewhat watching on. Chazz has got a bit of an awkward hand as well. I think he lost his Armed Dragon level 3 as well. But also, Alejandro also said, but she seems to be doing fine. Granted, it is only against strings. Few duelists in this series give you as much time for a comeback as he does. Strings. Connor Chavez says, LOL, that comment about the Australia spiders made me think of what people say when I tell them I live in Florida. Oh man, you have like alligators everywhere. It's like, yeah, I guess I live in lakes and stuff, but it's not like we're riding them to work. You say that about kangaroos as well. We don't ride the kangaroos to work. If you go looking for them, you'll find them, and just like your case with the spiders, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Yeah, well, you know what they say, don't poke the bear. There's a reason why you don't poke a bear with a stick, because the bear is going to turn around and attack you. I would say the same is with an alligator. If you go up to an alligator and you kick it, or you poke it with a stick, or you jump on its back and try to ride it, that alligator is probably going to respond in kind. Alright, Chazz is now down to 2,800 life points, and he could be in a bit of trouble here. Oof, Chazz has not ended up with a good hand. Again, decks are still subject to change. We will try and make adjustments as we go, but Chazz is completely lost here. He's got nothing that can help him. And he's just thrown Megamorph down. I think he's just... I mean, either way, he would have ran out of life points, so I think Chazz maybe just showing... That may be out of habit, actually. Just showing the opponent what was in hand. Maybe time for one more comment. Alejandro Fernandez says, I get that Mirror Force is overused. It was limited and banned in real life for a reason, but it's a good card that makes decks better. Maybe consider adding different variations of Mirror Force that fit a deck thematically, like Drowning, Radiant, Dark, Quaking, Blazing, and Storming Mirror Force. I didn't know there were that many variations of Mirror Force. That's a lot of Mirror Forces, or effects like Mirror Forces, but it's just playing against Yu-Gi-Oh! AI. It just really shows just how much Mirror Force is used. Cyber Angel Ben 10 comes to the field. And that will do it for Chazz and Alexis's duel. Chazz has lost 2-0. And Alexis is playing again next as well. Her Battle City run continues. I want to do some of the weaker decks against GX against Battle City to see which arc truly is the best. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll read out some more comments in the next video as well, now that everyone knows why I upload it later and all that today. Thanks for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care, farewell.